Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you
Hello,
all
everyone.
doing? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are listening from instead of watching today. It is Sledge here, and I am here with my little brother, Sweet Lips himself,
Hello,
the
everyone. Sweet lips is
sweetest
in
lips in
town.
the
The
West.
kissing trains in town.
Allow me to laugh. Oh man, I tell you, you just gotta love him. You gotta love him. I tell you, if you have a little brother, treat him right, treat him right, treat him right.
Thank you for
But
joining us this evening, this afternoon, or wherever you're from. Even if you're down there
yes,
in Baltimore, if you're across town in Texas, or I don't care where you're from. Thank you for being here with us.
yes, as always, and you're always welcome. And we have said it before. By all means, do join us. Do join us. You are welcome here. Every time we are live, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So, guys, today we will continue on um, with God's promises for our children, and we will be talking about, as you guys have read the title, this one is bullying, because we hear a lot about bullies. But my take on it is that I've said before, our children, we are the first role model. We are the first ones that they see. We're everything. We're teaching them from, um, I would say, maybe 5 months when they start to comprehend. So it's always on us. It's always on us because where are they learning this from? And as I said before, we keep it real here. We get to the point. We get right to the point. And that is why this show is called To the Point. Let's talk about it. To the
Right to
point.
the gut.
Lessons to
Right
be
to the
learned.
gut.
Lessons to be learned. We get right to it. No nonsense, no holds barred, and we have our own opinion on things. And I'm pretty sure you guys have your opinions. But, and that's why we say, by all means, join us. By all means, join us. But what do you think, Sweet Lips? What the first place they're learning this type of behavior? What is
Well,
your take
honestly,
on
well,
it?
I think one. I wouldn't say. Oh, I wouldn't say they're learning it from home. I would say that they're picking up what they see on TV, what they see when they're online. I mean, these kids are into everything. They see it all. And there's no way to actually really hide it from them. It's there. But when you see your kid acting a certain way, I think you should sit down and have a talk with them. I think that you should explain the things that go on and what they need to know and what they need to know not to do. That's what I think. And I wouldn't say, because some people are, oh, well, it starts at home. Well, not really. I think like in some cases, things do go on at home and parents overlook it. You get so busy, this and that, but you can never, and you should never be so busy that you can't know what's going on with your child. You should always know what's going on with your child. Sit down and talk to them each and every day. I think that works. Back in the day, we didn't do that. There was no sitting
Right.
down discussion, anything.
And
That's how
guys,
I think about it.
right. And guys, there you have our difference of opinions, because
Yes.
Sweet Lips thinks that it doesn't start at home. And I think it's invented at home. It is created at home. Bullies are created. And so I am going to share with you guys where we are, um, where our differences stand. Because, like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And that is why, once again, you're always invited whenever you get that notification. So be sure to subscribe to the channels so that you will receive notification whenever we come live. So, with that being said, I am going to share with you guys what my research has revealed to me. Because I told you, honey, I love a good research. Whenever we're bringing you something, there's a lot put into it. It's not like, we're just talking off the top of our head. Sometimes we do, sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just off the top of your head. You have to say what you feel in your heart. But with that being said, let me just put this WhatsApp in this. I don't know why I never keep this phone charge. WhatsApp. Okay. There's the WhatsApp number. Now let me, for the ones that would like to join our live, you just follow this app, okay? And that will put you guys into the live. And for those who would like to support the channel, just 1 second. Now there is the buy me coffee, and then there's that's not going to work because I didn't do it the right way. Oh, guys, hold on a second. Let me just do this. Now, how do I leave out the A? I don't know, but let me just do this here. And there's the correct app. There, now that we got that out of the way, and do not forget to share. And that is how we get the word out even more, by you guys just sharing the topics for us. That's how we can reach more people, because this here is more of a community type of situation, I want to say, because it involves everyone. There's no religion, no color. Our children, they're our children. And when it's all said and done, we want what's best for them. Even if ours are grown, we still have grandchildren. And even if your children are grown, you still have grand and great grand. And, we have to do what's best for them. At the end of the day, we have to do what is best for them. And we need to be informative in sharing new ideas, because some of us have grown up, with, some believe that spare the rod, spoil the child meant go upside your child's head. But I myself don't believe that is the meaning of it. But like I said, the whole idea is to always keep in touch with one another, share our thoughts with one another. And if you know someone that is in need of any type of help, feel free to come on. And if you know an agency or whatever in your area, then share it, direct them in the right direction. Because when it's all said and done, it's always going to be about loving one another and building a solid community, whereas people are not afraid to come forth and say, hey, I need a little help. Or they're not afraid to say, my child needs help. And so we must remember that. And like I said, I am about to share what I have found, because to me, this topic is very, very important. This topic on children, very important because as you see, um, in the last couple of days, and I don't really know why, it seems like when school picks up, the violence picks up also. And, I don't want to really try to downplay it. Like, no, 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 everything is fine, everything is fine. No, 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 no. For some reason, we need to acknowledge that these children are crying out. And the more we equip them with the knowledge on how to deal with bullying and what is actually bullying. And like I said, I just believe that we we do not want to accept the fact that when it's all said and done, I truly believe that bullying starts at home. Some parents don't believe that they can bully their children, but I believe that you can and not be aware of it because we all take on that attitude of I'm the parent and you do as I say,
I agree with
not
that.
as I do.
I agree with that because yeah, me as parents, we do, or some parents do have a tendency of just because you are the parent that everything you say and do is right, and sometimes it's not. You can actually really bully your child a lot and not realize that you are doing it. You know what I mean? And I just agree with that. That can happen. I mean, I agree. Yes, parents can bully the kids. I mean, just the way they talk to them, and in the street, just the way they talk to them at school. Like, I mean, you would think like they were strangers the way these parents talk to their kids.
Right. And what we do not realize as parents is that sometimes the people, even the company that we keep, and you believe that your friends or they're just helping, but there's a fine line between helping and bullying. So there's a lot of bullying going on that we're not aware of, and the reason why we're not aware of it because we've become accustomed to it because a lot of us, it's just traditional things. It's just traditional. It's traditional. Like if you don't believe that if your child is doing something and someone else comes in, it doesn't matter if it's a friend or family, to cuss that child out over something that you yourself should be able to take care of. And if you think that that's not a form of bullying, then we all need to learn. We need to relearn some things. And like I said, if you are a grandmother, a great grandmother, a great aunt, a great uncle, a cousin 17 times over, if you see something that is happening, you have an obligation to bring that to that person's attention, to bring it to that parent's attention. And it's not what you say, is how you say it. When you say it in a loving tone that is peaceful, that is loving, then it will be accepted as that. But let's just go on and see. And like I said, I am going to go over the roles that a parent play in bullying. I may say the talking points on a child being bullied. Let's just do this one first, okay? So, bullying can often stem from behaviors and attitudes established in the home environment, where parents play a crucial role in shaping their children's social interactions. Children absorb values from their caregivers. And if they are exposed to aggressive behavior, intolerance, or lack of empathy at home, they may mimic these actions in their relationship with their peers. And that is why I said children are just not born bullies. And I'm just speaking for myself. It's created. Bullying is a creation. It's a creation. It's something that is instilled in your child through your behavior. But let me just continue. For instance, if parents frequently engage in harsh criticism, ridicule, or physical punishment, children may internalize that idea that such behaviors are acceptable ways to exert control or express frustration. This is why I say that bullying is started at home. Like hate, a child is not born to hate. A child is not born knowing what racism is. It is something that is taught. So that is the reason why I said that bullying is something that is taught, and it's taught at home. Moreover, children who witness or experience domestic conflict may develop, I think it's pronounced, a maladaptive coping mechanism, leading them to replicate hostile dynamics in their school environment, thereby perpetuating the cycle of bullying. So let me just say that again. Children who witness or experience domestic conflict may develop maladaptive coping mechanism, leading them to replicate hostile dynamics in their school environment. Again, I truly believe what they see at home, you can tell what's going on in a home by a child's behavior. And what they see and what they hear is what they become adapted to, and that is the behavior that they display. That is the reason why I say it starts at home. Thus, fostering an atmosphere of respect, communication, and emotional support at home, it is vital in preventing the emergence of bullying behavior in children. Like sometimes we see it when a sibling is bullying the other, and we don't put a stop to it, and we laugh and we think it's cute. They then believe that that behavior is the correct behavior. And then when they turn about 10 or 11, you want to tell them that it is wrong. But maybe from the age of 1 to 10, you were on silent. And now you're trying to say my behavior is wrong. But when I was being aggressive in the home, or I've seen aggression used towards you, you chose to love or remain with that person. And so I'm thinking that this is okay. That's just my idea on it. Now, let's go on to what parents play a role in their child bullying others. The role of a parent in children's bullying behavior. Bullying remains a significant issue of schools and communities, affecting both the victims and the aggressor. Understand the complexity of this behavior is crucial. And one crucial factor contributes to bullying is the influence of parents. And I just described that. But Sweet Lips, are you with me so far?
Yes, I'm listening. I agree with everything you're saying.
Okay. So this topic
I'm the
explores
teacher. I'm the pupil.
Thank you, Sweet Lips. Now, this topic explores how parental involvement, parenting styles, and family dynamics can shape a child's propensity to engage in bullying. Now, let's go to the first one. Parental influence and modeling behavior. Children often learn social behavior from their parents. Again, this is why I said it starts at home. We are teaching our children this behavior, this type of behavior. They're watching how we navigate because, believe it or not, we are their first role models. They're born and they're created to love us as parents, to love and respect. And like I said, sometimes we move about without generational curses, and we don't realize that, yeah, we may be the parent, but in a way, because we have these little people, we just truly believe that we can disrespect them, but put the fear of God in them to respect us. With disrespect meets respect instead of I disrespect you and you disrespect me. And so I know I need to change my ways. We look at it like I disrespect you and you have no say so because I'm the parent. And, if you really say to me that I've hurt your feelings or you feel like you're being disrespected, that means that I'm going to punish you, whether it's with corporal punishment, whether it's with verbal punishment. I have a right to do what I want to do. And that's what we need to change. We need to change that. We need to change that because we already see what the outcome is. Whether we want to accept it, acknowledge it, we already see what the outcome is. Now, if parents exhibit aggressive or hostile behavior, children may imitate these actions, believing that they are acceptable responses to conflict or social interaction. Conversely, parents who model kindness, empathy, and effective conflict resolution can help children develop healthy relationships with their peers. So let's go on to parenting styles. Different parenting styles can significantly affect how children interact with their peers. For instance, authoritarian parenting. This style, characterized by strict rules and a lack of open communication, may lead children to feel powerless. I truly stand on that. What do you think, Sweet Lips? If you take away that communication, the child cannot communicate.
Well, I agree with you 100%. Everything you say, it's dead on.
Thank you.
I agree. Everything you say is dead on.
Thank
So
you.
my response is, I agree with you because what the sister's doing right now is giving you a help, and she's doing some teaching. Move on, move on, go on. Come on, sis.
You're right, but that's what I'm saying. It's just a matter of if you do not communicate with your child, or when your child is trying to communicate their feelings to you, or trying to communicate that something is happening around them, and you shut them down, you leave them open for every and anything because now they don't trust you. Because every time they come to you, it's always, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, shut up. Oh, go to bed. If you interrupt me one more time, oh, now you're grounded. Oh, you think you're grown. When all they're probably trying to tell you is this person is bullying me, or, I know I was wrong for doing XYZ, but I don't like it when you cuss me out, or I don't like it when you throw things at me. I don't
And
like
let's,
it when you hit me.
and let's just say also, for you parents out there, we not and don't want to make it seem like parenting is easy because it's not.
It's
I
not.
know we don't. I mean, y'all. I want y'all to think like, oh, y'all saying this is not. We know it's hard. We know it's hard. You got to work. You got to do all these things you got to do. Plus, deal with the kids, spend time with the kids, find out what's going on in their lives. It's difficult. We know that, so we don't want to make it seem like, oh, I don't know, they talking about it, act like it's so easy. No, we know it's hard. But what we're saying is that the main thing is there's help. That village is your friends, family members. Everyone can pitch in to help. When
Right.
you have time and you got to go to work, you have someone in your family or friends that can actually help with the little ones, look out after them, till you get home. But the main thing is we know it's hard. We don't want to make it seem like it's so easy being a parent, we being so negative. No, but we're saying now, or the way things go today, there's a lot of kids that slipping through the cracks, and the parents are just not realizing. They not
Right.
realizing that. And when you see something that goes on, and it can be not even be with your child, it can be with somebody else's child. See if you can help. Or it may give you a wake up call to be like, hey, you know what, man, I need to sit down and talk to my child because I see what so and so went through his net. Oh, yeah, I need to sit down and have a discussion with my kid and see what's going on with them and how school and if anything is that they got on their mind, need to talk about. Those are the things now in today's time as parents that we need to start doing. And when I say we, I
Right.
mean yo. Mine's are grown. I mean, I ain't got no little ones, but it's just that's what needs to happen now.
Right. Exactly. And then not only that, but what we are saying is that some of these old school ways of always turning to corporal punishment, always speaking down to a child, always trying to take their rights away as being just little human beings, that we are doing it the wrong way. Like a lot of, I want to say, young crime by children and young adults. Young adults, I'm saying up to the age of 18. A lot of times there was always violence in the household, or the parents was never available. They never made themselves available. And what I'm saying is that you cannot allow a busy schedule to stop you from parenting a person that did not ask to be brought into this world. That was your choice. So when you make that choice to have a child or to have children, then you have to really, at the end of the day, put them first. You have to put them first. They should be your top priorities.
I agree.
Because again, you, this is a ship that you're navigating, and you can't always make it rocky. You cannot always have these waters with huge waves coming up over them. Let me just put it that way. No matter what you do in life, the moment you lay down unprotected and choose to go through with that their pregnancy, you owe it to your child to protect them. You owe it to your child to respect them just the way you would like for them to respect you. This here old school thing, it just needs to change. Times are changing. Times are a little more aggressive than when we were coming up. The laws have changed. And really, I've said it before, we are all in a spiritual warfare. We are all in a spiritual warfare. And if you truly believe in your heart that there's no such thing as Satan and there's no such things as a demonic spirit, you keep not protecting your child, and you're seeing the handwriting on the wall, but you rather just push that blame to someone else. You rather push that blame to someone else instead of acknowledging the role that you play in your child being a bully. Because when we were coming up, They didn't look at our parents and say, "Oh, you're bullying them." But for sure, they bullied us, and their parents bullied them, and we call it raising our children in a strict environment. That's way too strict. Like your animals would have more leeway than your children, and that's just not right. Like I'm just keeping it real, and I'm just calling it out. It is what it is. Um, as a result, they might exert control over their peers through a bullying and means of reclaiming power. Permissive parenting. Parents who are overly lenient may fail to instill respect for others or boundaries, potentially encouraging bullying behavior as children do not learn about the consequences of their actions. So true. Now you just have some parents, and those are the ones that really they don't give a f you know what. And so do what you do as long as you're leaving me alone. Oh, did you win? Never holding their child accountable for their actions, for their behavior. And so we must put a stop to that. If you see that your child is doing something and you know it's wrong, but you know the sad part is sometimes, as I call it, our generational curses, we only know what our parents taught us. And so some of us may look at that type of behavior and say, I came out okay. That's what my mother used to do to me. That's what my father used to do. Like, hey, it does not matter. You start to learn that, hey, this is not right. You can't just go up to somebody and take what's theirs. You stop that behavior. Stop it in the beginning. Like if someone said something to you, that doesn't give you a right to go upside somebody's head. That does not give you a right to pick up something and call yourself defending. Defend. What are you defending? Their words. Their words. We must put a stop to that. Authoritative parenting. A balanced approach with clear expectation and open communications tend to teach children empathy and respect, mitigating the likelihood of bullying. You taking responsibility for your actions in your everyday movement, your aggression, um, your abuse of words. We need to replace that with kind words. We need to shower them with so much love, and we need to build their self esteem up. I'm telling you, a parent that does not build self esteem in their children, you're failing them. You are failing them. And those be the ones that you can call stupid, and suddenly they're jumping on you. They're jumping on your child and becoming aggressive because that is what they're taught at home. Again, bullying starts at home. You teach your children how to. You teach them, and you teach them it's acceptable because they have accepted you from the age of 1 on as their bully. But we don't see it that way. Now, family dynamics and environment. The household environment plays a crucial role in shaping the child's behavior. High stress environments include those marked by violence, neglect, or substance abuse. The three biggest issues going on in a household: violence, neglect, and substance abuse. Substance abuse brings about violence and it brings about neglect. And like I said, even substance abuse, to me, that's just a mark of the beast. That's just a mark of the beast. That's just another way for Satan to control you. And if you truly believe in your heart's heart that the devil is not there to destroy your household, I am telling you that that is his job. If you don't believe in demonic spirits, what can make you abuse your kid? What can make you accept that love is violence? It's these demonic spirits. It is Satan doing his best job. Because, like I said, a lot of times, a lot of us come from abusive situations, and our parents become from comes from abusive situations. Their parents come from abusive situations, and the cycle continues. But somewhere along the line, someone has to break that cycle. And why can't it be you? Why can't you learn that lesson that you will not, you will no longer hand your child over to the devil? You will not hand your child over to the authorities. You will not hand your child over to being over medicated and thinking that that's a solution. And then all of a sudden, when that is taken away, but they'll tell you in a minute, like if you're on this medication, you tell me how many times that you have seen a commercial. Well, do not come off this medication. Do not stop the medication on your own. You have depression. You have bouts of suicide. How do you put a child on a medication, and then suddenly the government takes away that program and you can no longer afford it? Now, where does that leave your child? Again, if you don't believe in demonic spirits, and if you do not believe that Satan is running around here devouring families, destroying lives, he don't care who he takes to the grave. But as long as he see anger in you, as long as he see you unhappy, he will feed you that need, whether it's to rob, steal, or lie. And guess what's happening around you? That little person that did not ask to be here suffers. Again, bullying starts at home. Now, family dynamics in their environment. Now, so the substance abuse can lead children to seek control and power through bullying. You see that the children can seek control and power through bullying. Additionally, siblings can also influence behavior with older siblings, either mentoring young ones in a positive or negative behavior. And that is so true. If you do not stop the oldest or the second to the oldest, if you do not put it into their bullying behavior, the ones that you instilled in them, and then you have the little ones looking up to them. And now, so all of a sudden, you become so busy because you have to work 33 jobs, or you have to go chase after your man or chase after your woman. And now you're leaving the oldest, who is already damaged from your actions, to guide and give out instructions to the younger ones. He is teaching them the way you taught him or her, and that is to go upside their head or become aggressive or cuss them out, withhold food. Whatever is taught to the oldest will show it to the youngest.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah, I agree with that.
speak on it, sweet lips.
I have seen that happen. Oh, I agree with that.
Yes. They start to mimic this behavior and thinking that it is okay.
Yeah, I
Until
agree.
something happened to the oldest one, either he or she is locked up or unlive, and then you have these young ones. Like, how do they come back from that? You have further damaged your child, your children, because no one said this is not how you're supposed to act. You're not supposed to steal. You're not supposed to shove someone down because they said you're ugly.
And also some kids, even besides that, do bullying to the younger one. I mean, in most cases, in some cases, some of it comes out of jealousy.
Yes.
Some of it come out of jealousy. I mean, they were first, they were here. Now all of a sudden, you got a newborn, and they getting all the attention. These things happen.
Right, but it only happens when you do not show attention. All of a sudden, you having more kids, and then everybody's getting less and less attention. Not that you was giving them some in the first place, but now
No,
you
I was
basically
that
put them out the picture.
in- you should involve them in the process. Like when the baby's born, let them help change the pamper, do things involve them in, because you're right. You have a tendency of they look and see, well, you're paying more attention to them than you do me now.
Right,
And that becomes, a dislike. Now they all of a sudden they don't like their siblings, they want to bully them, and you know, these things happen. Here's the thing. This is sweet one to say. This is a true statement. Someone once said to me that I have an older sibling. We didn't get along all that well. And they said to me throughout our whole growing up, they always treated me bad. They always was mean to me constantly. And this is the older sister. And they just found out recently from their let's just say their niece that their older sister treated them that way, and the basic bottom line, she found that her older sister hated her for being born, and she was like, now I understand why she treated me the way she treated me
mm-hmm.
as a younger sister. And she was like, I don't understand why she treated me that way, because for one, it ain't my fault. I didn't have her. It's like, it's not my fault. I mean, why didn't she go to my parents about that? I mean, why treat me? I mean, she treated her bad
Right.
all her life. And all this time, she just found out that she hated her for being born, like it was her fault. Like she said, her life's changed once she came along and she was born. And it's like, that's not my fault. That got nothing to do with me. See,
Right.
that's what I mean by sometimes siblings, they get jealous.
Right, because let me tell you what happens there. A lot of times, more children come into the fold, and suddenly, that older one, now the parent or the parents go on like, that's your child. Like, look, this is not my child. Like, it's okay to say, hey, can you help out? But, oh, no, you can't go to a game. You can't go to the high school game, or you can't go to the middle school game because I need you to watch this one. Oh, no, you can't go because I need you to iron his clothes. Oh, no, you can't go because I need you to bathe. And no, you can't go because I need you to cook. How that is not their child. And that's one thing that we need to stop doing. Like, yeah, it's okay to say help out a little bit, but don't you act like this is my child. Because guess what that older one will do? When they're looking for love, they will go out and make a child themselves because they want someone that they can love them and they can love them back. Again, we are responsible. Let me tell you what came across my feed. I think it was Instagram. TikTok I have to stay away from because let me tell you something. Even though I have a TikTok channel, that is the most depressing place that you can ever visit to me. And I'm just speaking for myself. I'm telling you, I have never just read one sitting so many crimes. But there was a 6-year-old that unlived his 2-year-old brother. Unlived him with a kitchen knife. What is going on in that 6-year-old's mind? What is going on in a 6-year-old mind? Where would that behavior come from? What's going on? Like, you look at a 2-year-old, and how do you have hate? You're 6. How do you have hate in your heart like that at 6? Again, we tend to just leave these kids and try to say that this television is going to babysit and raise our children, or this computer is going to babysit and raise our children, and never once do we stop to see what it is that they are watching. Sometimes you can look at a child's behavior and know that that child does not need to be unsupervised with any electronics. So maybe that's not being taught at home, that part of, I can't even say it because this world is so upside down. But when your child displays anger, either they're getting it from you, or they are getting it from the devices that you leave them unsupervised with. Again, the whole idea is to change the way we are parenting. These video games with all this violence needs to be limited. It needs to be limited because these children are looking and playing these games hours on hours on hours on hours. And now they become so obsessed. And when they play these games and everybody high-fiving, yeah, we're doing good, we're doing good. The different games that they have out. The only one can come to my mind that I really just remember is like the Call of Duty. That's all I can remember. No, the Grand Theft Autos. I don't even know if it's out still. But those type of games tend to, I want to say, again, we are not psychologists, we are not doctors, anything else, but they tend to destroy the part of the brain that is used for love. It is now a built-in hate machine. And this is just my take on it. This is just my take on it. Like, we need to have a lot more hands-on communication with our children, and we cannot leave it up to the computers and the television screens to raise our children, because we feel that we don't have enough time in our busy lives to entertain them. Like, they need to bring back that time where what the weekends belong to the children. What you saying, sweet lips?
Now I was listening. Y'all agree?
We need to bring back that time. Let me tell you guys something. When my son was younger, when my daughter was younger, even when my nephew was younger, because I raised him too, 9 times out of 10, we spent it in the car. Going to this game, going to that game, going to this practice. When my son was younger, he was about 6, 7 years old. So he had to go to soccer practice, then to the soccer games. So on the weekend, in between the soccer games, there was a soccer game, and it was acting classes, because he was acting then. And in between that time, we were running to San Francisco to go see. We were heading to LA for shows. And, that was his time. That was our time with him. We spent so much time together. But you have to realize also, when you allow your child to say, I don't want to do this anymore. So with all the acting that he was doing, when he was 12, he said, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to play soccer. And everything else stopped. And all he did from 12 throughout high school and a little after was play soccer. And the sacrifices was that, we had to take from here to make sure, because those who have kids that play, I forget what type of soccer it is, but those organizations can run you $1,500 to $2,000. And that's just the play. That's not even including the uniforms, the shoes, because you know when you have a child and they thinking they're Neymar or whomever the latest soccer player was, you know they want those shoes. Those shoes you're running $300. That's not even including the gas to get out of town, the food, but the sacrifice to know that he like this here time was his time and our time to spend with him. That's what we did. That's what we did. My daughter started off wanting to play softball. And that's the time we spent with her. She wanted to sing. That's the time we spent with her. So it didn't matter what was going on in our lives. You find a way to make your child feel loved and make them feel wanted. And if you don't have the money to put them in one of those UA leagues or whatever it's called, even my nephew, we stayed traveling. We stayed going to these different tournaments. When he used to play with the Pee-wees, we stayed. We stayed, like go to bed early, you know, oh, let me just pack a lunch from our home so we don't have to spend all this money on the road. You know, okay, we got to put gas money away. You make these sacrifices because I just truly believe that a child should have a childhood. They should be able to look back and talk about the good times. They should be able, the other day, Sweet Lips and I were online and we had Maria and we had Cassandra. And right in the middle of our show, we started going back to the old days when we was watching these here cartoons and, you know, singing tones from old songs. Like, you have to create that for your children.
It's true. That's true.
You have to create it. And even if you are single, you have to still create it. So you cannot sit there and say, oh, well, you know, forget if the mother not doing something, the father not doing something, whomever the primary parent is at that moment, that falls back on you. Because basically you already have an idea of who you were sleeping with. Now, if you choose to push out a child, you're saying the responsibility is going to fall on me. But never once should a child feel like they're unwanted, or should your child feel like, you know, oh, well, you know, she just hates me because I look like my father. Oh, she hates me because I look like my mother, you know, and my father didn't give her no money, so now I can't get anything. Yo, put all that behind you.
That's right. That's right. Because when you, if you don't nobody suffer but the child.
That's the only person that suffers.
Uh-huh.
Put it all behind you. And we will stay on this topic. I will take my time going through here because, like I said, what is going on in this world today? Everyone needs to stand up and hold themselves accountable.
We're not trying to tell you how to raise your kids.
Right.
We just giving y'all the knowledge. Well, the sister is giving y'all the knowledge that's out there, the help that you need.
Right, right. Stop all this abuse. Stop thinking that if you pounce on your child, like you're not making no man or woman out of them. What you're doing is robbing their innocence. What you're doing is taking away their childhood. What you're doing is taking away their voices. And so when someone goes out there and does something to them, they can't even come and tell you because your style is so aggressive. But let's continue. Now, additionally, siblings can also influence behavior with the older siblings, either mentoring the young one in positive or negative behaviors. Communication and emotional support. Open communication within families can help children express their feelings and resolve conflict more constructively. Parents who encourage emotional expression and provide support are less likely to raise children who resort to bullying. Active listening and validating emotions teaches children empathy, making them more likely to understand the impact of their actions on others. That is another thing that we need to be aware of. We need to first take the responsibility on our actions that's impacting our child so that our children will know that any actions that they take against anyone else from inside the home of their siblings to outside the home and their peers, that it will be dealt with. And let me tell you what I don't believe either. I don't believe that violence should be um, like if you make me mad and you get in trouble, I'm gonna whip you, I'm gonna hit you, but then I'm going to tell you that if you get mad that you can't hit someone else, well, they're learning it from home. So again, even when you're mad about something, like take that time and like calm down. But if you're on 10 and you're striking your child, you are striking that child to injure them. And that is how abuse is being formed. You abuse them, they abuse others. Hurt people, hurt people. Now, peer relationship and social skills. Parents have a role in guiding their children in building healthy friendships and understanding social dynamics. If parents fail to adequately teach social skills or do not monitor their child's interactions, children may struggle with social cues and resort to bullying as an attempt to fit in or respond to perceived threats. Notice I said perceived threats. So, what can we do? Intervention and education. So, guys, tomorrow we will just talk about when a child is being bullied and what it is that we as parents, what steps should we take within legal ramifications out there. But there are things that you can do, and not sit there and tell your child when you go to school tomorrow, you throw them down some stairs. All this madness, and then suddenly when the child start doing it all on his own, now this child is looking at a criminal record, and they're the ones out there doing it. And guys, and I just truly believe you have kids robbing people, unliving them, but where, like why? Like this anger did not just develop the day they went outside. It is something that is building up. And like I said, we need to take accountability. We need to parent a little differently. Like all that's going on out there in this world, and oh, this child did this because of this, and now all of a sudden 99 stories want to leak. Like, if you see yourself as the person that is doing that to your child, like, common sense should tell you, hey, this is not the way. This is not the way. When you look in your child's eyes and you see nothing but sadness, this is not the way. This is not the way. I think if you build up self-esteem, we're also going to speak on building up resilience in your child, because too many of our children under the age of 12 is unliving themselves due to bullying. But we're going to take our time, and we thank you for allowing us to just bring this and share our thoughts. And this is why I keep saying, join us. If you have experienced anything, it's just something that you can just bring to the table that's positive, or something that you went through, your own testimony, it's going to help someone else. So it's not about exposing someone's lifestyle. It's just about bringing awareness. The more awareness that is brought, then the better we can do as a parent, the better we can do as a
I
parent
agree.
when it comes. navigating this thing called parenthood. Because I'm telling you, whereas before there were no books, but now it's okay to get that help, but you have to help yourself. And that is why I said before, I just believe that if you have ever been through any type of childhood trauma and you still hold on to it and you have not received any type of counseling, then you need to take that step first before you bring a new life under those conditions. But it is sweet lips, it is sledge, and we are getting to the point. We are talking about it, we're bringing awareness to it. And hey, guys, guess what? We will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. We are out of here.